So what?
Right.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what else? And this is kind of insignificant, but remember when you used to fly somewhere, how you would dress?
Yeah.
It was you had to dress up to get on that airplane.
Yeah.
And now there's people in cut-off shorts, and that's
That
just
certain
another
word hanging out and all
right. Their ass, boobs,
Yeah, all of that.
right?
Yeah.
So you're absolutely right. If you look around from when we were growing up, things are so different.
My dad, if he could have had caught me with my pants hanging down,
Oh
off
my
cracking
God,
my butt the way these kids dressing right now, I would have had a beating every 5 minutes. But boy, pull up your pants.
Right.
Straighten your clothes up. Stand erect. Be
That's
somebody.
right.
Speak up when you're spoken.
That's
Speak
right.
clearly. People were like that back in them days. You had to have some type of pride and get up about yourself, as they used to say.
Right.
And
I
it's
think
just
we need more role models that are like that because there's not enough.
Right.
There's not enough. And even though we do have some role models that are so wonderful, they're not being looked at as role models.
No.
They're just, oh yeah, he's that. But no.
most of the time, the kids refer to you as old dude. They think, if they see you wearing your clothes a certain way, if your buddy ain't hanging out like, oh man, that old,
He's old.
Old dude. He don't know what, he's not hip. He don't know what time it is.
Right.
And sometimes, like I know my son for a while wore those baggy jeans. And we were at a soccer game. He was playing soccer, and they all wore their pants a little bit. It was when those baggy shorts first came, and his one buddy was running down the field, and guess what? He lost his pants. But he kept running, and he got the goal. But that day after that game, we were talking about it on the way home, and he said, Mom, can I go get new jeans? And I said, yes, you can. And we went down, and he got all new Levi's and all those big baggy ones we took right to Salvation Army. And I was, thank you, God. Because that looks so terrible and disrespectful.
But what the kids don't know is where that started from.
I know.
And what it derived from. That came from prison.
Right.
And that came when a person wore their clothes like that, it let someone else know that they were available for activity.
Yeah. See, so shame on everybody that wears their pants like that.
I mean,
right.
are you really available?
Right.
I think if they really thought about it that way, they would, not do it.
Right.
But I think also because that people such as myself and my generation rejects it, it just puts fuel to the fire. They don't like that. Well, that's the very thing we
I'll
want
pull
to do.
them down a little bit more.
That's right.
Right.
And I was in the store no longer than the other day. We were in Chicago, and we went in line to order food at a, concession place, a fast food place after work. It was late night. And this one kid come in there, and his pants actually hung below the cups of his ass. So
well, how'd he keep them up?
He didn't.
Oh.
He didn't keep them up.
God.
And his pure underwear, naked butt was hanging right out, and his clothes was just somewhere fastened off around his leg area, thigh area.
That's so weird.
I mean, just plain. I'm like, well, why did you even put on pants?
Right.
Why did you even bother
What
me?
are you covering?
Yeah.
I really like to hear hear you say things like that, because when I say something like that, it doesn't come out nearly as nice. Thanks. I mean, really, thanks. Because my voice just doesn't come out like that nice at all.
On my way to work this morning, there was a young man riding a bicycle, and I don't know why he was not in school, and his whole ass was hanging out.
Yeah.
And I wanted to roll down my window and say, pull your pants up, but I stifled
Restrained
myself.
yourself,
Right?
yeah.
It was hard, though, Larry.
Yeah.
It was really hard. Yeah, riding a bike. How uncomfortable would that be with your butt hanging out? And didn't he know it?
But what is the most fun thing to see is to see them guys who can snatch them up with right hand.
Yeah.
I call them snatch 'em ups.
Snatch 'em
You got some snatch 'em ups that can really move, man. With that one hand, they pull them up with that one.
Oh, that creates a hilarious picture.
Yeah.
Snatch 'em ups. I'm going to have to remember that. That's funny. That's pretty good. So, when I first moved to this area from Ohio, but I didn't go to Ohio State. I went to Akron U. I was a zip. But I heard about you, and that was in 2009. And then the Chamber of Commerce, the Bay Area Chamber of Commerce, hosted a business after hours at a car dealership.
Yeah.
And that's where I saw you for the first time.
Okay.
Oh, my God. I was so impressed. I lived in California for 20 years, and I used to go to the Monterey Jazz Festival every year.
Yeah.
And that was, oh, my God, I loved it so much. So I had all those jazz CDs and, records before that. That's my kind of music. I love that music. And when I heard you, it brought tears to my eyes.
Oh.
Finally, somebody that can play real music. So I thank you for doing that, for doing what you're doing and staying so true to your roots. It's a beautiful thing that you're doing.
We all appreciate it.
Well, I thank you, ladies. I really do. And like I say, for me, I'm not trying to be that or anything. That's just the way it was for me.
Right.
I'm just only giving my interpretation of what I think is. And it just makes me so happy to have someone who will allow us to play our music, because when I started playing that particular music in this area in the 70s, it was funk music was king at that time.
Oh, right, the mamas and the papas, and right.
Right. Well, it evolved from that side. On the black side, it was more like Larry Graham, Isley Brothers.
Isley Brothers. What's going on? Yeah.
All that type of stuff. But whatever it wasn't blues.
Right.
And so when you play that, a lot of time, a lot of people was not owning up to that, or they wasn't embracing that at the time. And to see it go full circle to something that wasn't really so welcome, or people weren't quite so sure, to what it has become today, is a very it's a satisfying thing for me to see that. I'm so happy for the sake of the music and the heritage to stay alive, that people are accepting it, and some of the young people will take it up and try to carry it on.
I hope so, yes, because that would be a sad thing to lose the blues.
Yeah. But it's changed a lot, but you got a few certain young ones that, as I like to call it, has the calling or has the interpretation to really understand and come closer to the root. And those are the ones who are special and really are the ones that have the calling. And I pray for their survival and acceptance, that this music has some good representatives,
Let's all bow our head for a minute and hope that music lives on, because it's important. It's important. So, and kudos to you for sticking to it.
Oh, well, thank you.
Because you could have changed.
Oh, and I've thought about it many times, because, it's so many other things that are more popular.
Yeah.
Right.
And as you travel and get around and meet people and go places and do things, you come across many circles and many different people that you thought you never would meet. And I have had some opportunities to do some other things, but it always was important to me, as they say, to do it my way. Not to be the boss, but to do something or pursue something that I believed in, that I endorse, and that is my personal endorsement. I like rootsy music,
Good.
Music that's rootsy and music that's got some heart to it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and stories. Those songs all have stories behind them, if not in them.
Right.
Like a lot of men wrote stories for their guitars.
Oh, for sure.
And we thought they were about women. They weren't. They were about their guitars or their cars.
They spoke. Those old guys were crafty and used a lot of metaphors. So you could take it either take it or leave it.
Take it either way.
That's right. That's right.
My dad used to like the blues, so I kind of grew up listening to them too. But I can't remember what song it was, but I remember once I didn't hear a song. I wish I could remember what song it was, but it had sexual connotations in it, and I didn't get it when I was little. And we used to go around the house singing that song, And when I was an adult, that song came on somewhere. And I went,
probably my big 10-inch record or something like that, maybe.
And I don't remember. And I remember going, oh, I used to sing that.
They have a whole double album collection, and it's called Copulation Blues.
Oh,
and
my God.
It has all of those.
Oh,
all
how
of those songs.
fun is that?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm gonna have to write that down. So see all these things I have.
I'll
to write
remember
down.
it.
Okay, good. So who was somebody that you really got you into this? Like made you want to make music?
My big sis.
Your big sister. Oh, that's delightful.
Yep, she was. My grandmother played guitar. My papa played a little guitar, but he was a harmonica player, but a singer and a dancer.
Oh, how fun!
So, it was already that kind of thing going on. My mother...
So a built-in party.
My grandmother on my mother's side played piano. And music was, raising up in that area, at the time, it was nothing to do other than work. So people stayed at home and entertained themselves in them days, so... weekends and stuff like that, they break out the instruments.
How fun.
Get down and have fish fries and stuff like that,
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun.
Cool. So what sound did you like the best? Like what got you hooked on a sound?
Well, the first song that really turned me on was, I have to say, it was probably B.B. King. But before B.B. King, I heard the music of Muddy Waters.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Furry Lewis, Mississippi Fred, many Delta bluesmen, which was, excuse me.
He needs a water.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Many Delta bluesmen that, it was a much older sound, like to sound more like Robert Johnson.
Right.
That type of, thank you.
Robert Johnson's cool.
Robert Johnson, Robert Jr. Lockwood.
I don't know him.
He was a young man when Robert Johnson was playing. Robert Johnson dated his mother.
Oh my God.
Which is a lot of bluesmen who Robert Johnson dated their mother.
He got around.
Robert Jr. Lockwood, he used to, I guess Robert Johnson used to come to their house and, his mother would fix dinner. He would be there hanging out, playing his guitar. And that's how he got it. So I was so lucky to meet guys like him, Robert Jr. Lockwood, Pine Top Perkins, Sonny Land Slim. I mean, a lot of the guys that actually did play in Muddy Waters band. Like Bob Margolin.
Some of these names sound familiar, and other ones.
All Chicago musicians, all Chicago people.
The blues scene there is amazing, isn't it?
It's amazing. That's kind of like blues capital.
My son went to culinary school there, and I just blessed him for picking that school, because when I went to see him, that's what we used to do.
Go to the blues clubs. Oh, it's so much fun. It's so much fun. I'm going on the 18th. I'm going to Chicago to Kingston Mines. Are you familiar with that place?
I don't know. It's been a long time. I'd have to look at my list.
Down on Halsted Street. It's been voted like the #1 blues club in America for many years.
We went there then.
Yeah, on Halsted Street, 2400 North Halsted. But anyway, the proprietor there, Doc Pellegrino, he was having his 50th anniversary this year on May 18th, and he just passed last week.
Aww.
And he was 92 years old, but he had a blues club in Chicago for 50 years.
I think I know that one. I was really lucky because my high school boyfriend lived in Chicago, and he played the saxophone.
Okay.
So he knew all the blues clubs.
Right.
So he used to just send me an address and a name, and would go there, and our dinner would be paid for and everything.
Right.
It was really nice, and we got to enjoy the music and.
That's that kind of town.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're warm, aren't you? There's a fan.
No, I'm all right.
You sure?
Yeah, I've been moving around a lot. I was rehearsing at home, and spring doing the wind come the other day and blew a lot of limbs and stuff down. So picking up sticks and so.
Good. That's good for you.
Yeah,
it keeps you grounded.
Yeah.
And what a beautiful day it was.
Gorgeous day.
So you're going to play some music for us tonight?
I can put
Oh, God, I would love it if you did. We all would love it.
Yes,
Sure.
please.
You pick whatever you want to play.
One of them old blues, like
Yeah.
metaphoric blues?
You can play an old one and a new one.
Okay.
And a medium one if you want.
Let me get my stuff together.
Okay.
All right.
So in case you're just